Ready to go. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for the coordination of the seminar series. Today, I would like to talk to you about our recent research work, and I try to prepare a broad presentation, both informative and also hopefully entertaining. So if you wait till the last slide, there might be some interesting videos that you might like. So, well, a little bit about myself. For those who don't know me, I am a professor at the Civil Environmental and Construction Engineering Department. I joined UCF in 2003. In terms of my research areas and interests, I listed a bunch of things here with these bullets, but I also listed our CITRIS website where you can go and get more information about what we do, which I'll talk about today, but there are more detailed information about from different projects, etc. You can find them in the website. In terms of publication, in our own domain in civil infrastructure, I think we have a very strong presence. And for our publications, I also listed two websites or links. One of them is ORCID, the other one is Google Scholar. For those who are interested in more detail about some of the work that I'll be presenting today, you can go to these links and find out more about these papers and publications. Education focus areas, I generally teach graduate level courses, mostly in the areas of bridge engineering, health monitoring, dynamics, finite elements, and I also developed new courses for our smart city program. And I also teach undergraduate courses such as structural analysis and engineering mechanics statics. I listed a few achievements here for my research and other activities, but I think the achievement that I am most proud of is my students. And many of them have become successful researchers, professors, entrepreneurs. So that's I think the biggest highlight of my career so far, I can say. So with that, I would like to talk about my research in general. So what we do in our research group is research lab. Our research is in structural health monitoring. We are looking at structural identification. The bigger picture of what we do. And we are looking at different types of structures. And we look at different approaches, methods, technologies. And on the right-hand side, you see a book that was published by ASCE. I think that serves as a manual or a guideline for how structural identification that includes structural health monitoring can be applied to all kinds of civil infrastructure. And we talk about modeling, experimentation, data analysis, calibration of models, and at the end, decision-making. That's what we do in our research group as well. Where we apply these technologies and methods, and these are shown here in this small slide, they are not limited to one type of structure, although we have lots of bridge applications, but we have experience in bridges, tunnels, buildings, stadiums, etc., and even aerospace structures. Some, again, pictures from my laboratory. We do all kinds of sensing and we apply them to laboratory and field real-life applications, from conventional sensors to fiber optics to wireless sensors. I have been using image-based applications since 2003 here at UCF, since I joined. Infrared, and very recently we are looking at variables. And obviously, we have to analyze all this data for signal processing, image processing, and we have our own damage-sensitive indices and methods so that we can understand structures' performance. A little bit about the modeling, quite a bit of modeling also that are for real-life structures. And at the end, we are trying to help decision-making with all these technologies about the structures, performance, maintenance, etc. The current methods that are utilized for assessment of civil infrastructure, in this case bridges, are shown here. As you can see, these are very subjective, very dangerous, sometimes costly. So we are trying to change it. Our objective is to find ways to really understand the performance and condition of the structures, and we can also predict their future performance. This is also important because the ASC, which is the American Society of Civil Engineers, they issue a report card, and you can see all these different categories of infrastructure are rated, like a report card of a student. And the overall cumulative grade is D plus, and you can see bridges C plus, dams D. So that means for our existing infrastructure, we really need to understand whether there is life left in those structures or whether there is something that needs to be done immediately. So for that reason, we are trying to find effective techniques and technologies. And also these technologies can be utilized for the next generation of smart structures. So that's our motivation, main motivation. We utilize structural health monitoring to different types of structures, but now I'm going to show you a few examples on bridges. But we apply structural health monitoring at local level and global level. Local level means detecting defects, cracks, delaminations, etc. on bridges or any type of structures. You can see here we have some vehicles equipped with infrared cameras, which I will show, and we have some drones that's from the university also. And also we are interested in robots, and these can detect local level information and local level defects. At the global level, which means you can understand the structure's overall performance, how it deforms, how it vibrates, and you can do this to understand the overall condition and performance of the structure. You can do this intermittently, and also you can do this before and after extreme event. But these local and global level structural health monitoring is not enough by themselves. You have to combine them with decision-making platform. And a small box, you can see a software that we have developed for decision-making for bridges or bridge networks, where we incorporate all this data from local and global level monitoring of the structures. Some recent examples from our work. As I mentioned, we are looking at defects on bridge surfaces. For these, we are using vehicles equipped with infrared and also line scanning sensors. And you can see we are using a vehicle here, and this vehicle helps us scan the surface of the bridges with the infrared on the left-hand side raw data, right-hand side process data, or with the boards such as this one, and we can detect those type of let's say defects on the bridge surface or sides or underside. When you use those vehicles, you don't close the bridge to traffic, and there's no safety issue, and it's very practical, very objective. Very recently, we have been working on what we call human-centric AI and mixed reality, and I've been collaborating on this research area with Dr. Baji from computer science. And here we have headsets which are used by the inspectors or engineers, and they can see through these headsets, and the computer trained previously can detect all these deficiencies. We got a very nice Kikuchi-Karlovsky award for this, and there's also a short video about this application, and it's a bridge from that's a bridge near Winter Park, and here the engineer is using the headset, and with the headset scanning the different parts of the bridge. Let me move a little bit further here, and these different cracks can be identified. It's independent of the direction, so you can detect these cracks, and the user or the engineer can interact with the computer. So it can improve the detection rate by training with the help of the inspector also. This is detecting the cracks, and it's such a longer video. Let me go a little bit further in this. So it's still crack detection. But there are also spallings, and these are the routine applications that the bridge inspectors and engineers have to do on bridges, and they take notes. Here, we are utilizing this and this technology, but in this case, this spall is not detected very, very effectively, and then the engineer intervenes and improves the detection of this spalled area. So you will see the analysis will come up with better results. So this is another application that we have been working on. So these were some of the applications at the local level. Now let's look at the global level applications. Here we are looking at bridges. Again, this is a 417 bridge, and you can measure the input and also the output, and you can utilize this data for understanding the bridge. In this case, we are using cameras and drones, and also you can incorporate sensors to understand how these bridges are behaving. So this is another application from a long span bridge. In fact, this is the fourth longest span bridge in the world. That's from Turkey. We visited with my students, and we did work on two other long span bridges over there also. And when we conducted this study, I think one of the particularly important things is this 1.35 kilometers. When we did this study, I believe it's still the same. The longest that was done at this type of research was 750 meters. So we almost doubled that distance. And we correlated our findings here with this non-contact camera measurements with the sensors. So we were very happy with the results. So this is global level assessment of the structure. So the next thing that I'm going to show is human structure interaction. You might remember this game. Some of you might be into our stadium. This is from the championship game. And I have been monitoring the stadium since its opening. It's more than 10 years right now. And what happens is the people, when they are jumping up and down, obviously this is true for all these stadiums, they are inputting lots of dynamic load on these structures. Especially when you play a certain song, there's a coordinated motion, and that's inputting dynamic loads to the structure. So we have been using sensors to monitor these type of activities, different type of sensors. But now we are also using cameras. And what I'm going to show you here is we take the image data, the video, and for the dynamic response of the structure, we decompose these into individual mode shapes or components at different frequencies, and then we magnify them. I have to emphasize that these amplitudes are not actual amplitudes. These are motion magnified amplitudes, but these give us a very good information about how these structures are behaving at different frequencies. Another important thing here is that instead of using point sensors, we are almost getting here infinite resolution because we are covering the entire structure. This can be applied to bridges, this can be applied to buildings, this can be applied to airplane wings or rockets in on a launch pad. So application areas are can be very different. This is my last slide. I am listing my collaborators here at UCF and elsewhere, and some of the recent sponsors for our research. And I have to acknowledge all of them, my collaborators, my students. In terms of collaboration, I listed in this box. I am interested in areas, collaboration in areas, sensing data analysis, but also especially hardware development, like sensor development, FPGAs, boards, AR, VR, HR. Those are areas that I am working on, but I would like to extend those. And I would like to develop drones and robots. We have done few of those. And then BIM, digital twin, and social and financial aspects. So these are in areas that I'm interested in collaborating. And the last thing that I would like to show is every year we create a postcard for our laboratory. We send it out to maybe close to 1,000 people around the world to promote our university and also our research group. So we have to prepare something for 2021, for the new year in 2020, for the upcoming year. So with that, I would like to finish my presentation, and I'll be more than happy to answer if there are any questions.